Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Boys Do Sports. Today we're going to switch it up a little bit, do something different. So we're not going to go into our surprises from week 4, mainly because I don't think there's anything to be surprised about anymore. The teams that are good. The teams that are bad are bad. So we're just going to jump straight into our week 5 starts and sits. My start at quarterback is going to be Sam Darnold. So I'm still seeing way too many people not rostering Sam Darnold. He's only 67% rostered. If you guys are playing in Superflex leagues, no reason he shouldn't be rostered. He's still putting up like 3-4 touchdowns a week. This is one of those guys, it's kind of one of those Ryan Fitzmagic runs where you just got to start him till they are bad. And as soon as he starts being bad, sure, drop him, keep him on your bench, whatever. Till he's bad, start him.
Yeah, no, he's much better than some guys that I've said to drop, like Trevor Lawrence, Matt Stafford, Kirk Cousins, Caleb Williams. Like, he's putting up more fantasy points, throwing multiple touchdown games. Yeah, no, I like that start. And I also like starting Jordan Love, same division. His first game back from injury last week, 31 fantasy points. That's pretty good. This is a very high-powered offense with Matt LaFleur, and they're going to score a ton of fantasy points everywhere, most weeks. And they're playing the Rams, and they allow the 5th most fantasy points per game to quarterbacks. So I think Jordan Love is in for a great week.
Yeah, if there's any time for Jordan Love to have a true bounce back, get back into the rhythm of it, it's going to be this week for sure. My running back start, all of us Pacheco owners were trying to reach him, man. Carson Steele, please. Sam Pirine, please. Didn't do it, man. So Kareem Hunt is going to be a start. He earned the RB1 role last week. He got the majority of the touches after the Carson Steele fumble. He didn't put up the greatest numbers, but mainly it's because he didn't find the end zone, man. And I feel like they're gonna feed him. It's gonna be a Monday Night Football game at Arrowhead. Kareem Hunt scores a touchdown. Arrowhead is gonna go fucking bananas.
Yeah, Carson Steele fumbling it and not touching the ball again was kind of crazy. Like, they just put in Kareem Hunt off the street and go. Like, kind of crazy. Yeah. But, yeah, I like Chuba Hubbard a lot this week. He's done really well the last 2 weeks, and the Commanders are allowing a whopping 39.1. Oh, wait. No. They're playing the Bears. Panthers and Bears. Not Panthers and Commanders. Yeah. Panthers and Bears. But they're playing the Bears. The Bears allow 22.1 fantasy points per game to running backs, which is the 9th best. And with Andy Dalton, this offense has really gotten going. Over the last 2 weeks, Chuba Hubbard is the RB3. So since week 2, he's had at least 4 catches per game as well. So very involved in the passing game and the run game.
Yeah, I know. We talked about it a little bit before. With Andy Dalton coming in and opening up the passing game, Deontay Johnson has looked better than he ever has. That opens up so much for the Panthers' run game. Hubbard was getting slowed down because teams were just being able to key in on him, man. It's so easy to key in on a running back and stop him whenever there's nothing going on in the passing game. That's how teams stopped the Giants and Saquon Barkley. If you have a good passing game, Saquon is the leading rusher in the league. That's just kind of how it goes, man. So if you have a good passing game with the red rifle, he provides it. Chuba Hubbard is going to be a good start, I think, probably until Andy Dalton has his probably week 6, 7 collapse that he's kind of just known for. But, yeah. My wide receiver start is going to be Rashid Shaheed. You call him a boom or bust guy here, but he wasn't near that last week, and he was catching short routes. He was making a lot of plays. He had 7 catches for 70-something odd yards, man, or maybe even 6 or... It was something up there. He had a pretty solid week for someone who didn't catch an 80-yard touchdown, which he's normally known for. And if you have Chris Olave getting locked down by McDuffie, I think that opens him up in the slot so much because the Chiefs just got absolutely burnt by Ladd McConkey in the slot. So I think Rashid Shaheed could really do something.
Yeah, no, they definitely manufactured touches for him last week, giving him more of the short game. He had I think it was end up being 8 catches, him and Chris Olave. They each had 8 catches. Yeah, I like Rashid Shaheed a lot this year going forward. And I like Amari Cooper this week. The Commanders are allowing a whopping 39.1 fantasy points per game to wide receivers, which is the most. And he's had at least 8 targets in every game this season, and he leads the Browns in red zone targets. So even though Deshaun Watson is bad, Amari Cooper can still be good.
Yeah, no, Amari Cooper absolutely torched the Giants defense. And whenever the Commanders played against Jamar Chase, we all know how that went down. Jamar Chase finally had that big bounce back week. So the Commanders defense is not good. The offense is great, but that also leaves every time they go down and score, the Commanders defense is right back on the field. So that's why they're always in these massive shootouts. So yeah, Amari Cooper could have a great week. My tight end start is going to be Pat Freiermuth. So they are playing the Cowboys, but I don't really see that slowing them down. I think whenever they finally had their realization that they weren't just going to be able to tuck it with Justin Fields and run, he had to start looking towards his safety blanket tight end, because Justin Fields is still a young guy, still needs a safety blanket. Pat Freiermuth finally found the end zone last week. I think he continues the momentum. Pat Freiermuth stock is just absurd right now. I love it.
Yeah, no, fantasy tight ends are weird right now. You're not starting Mark Andrews. You're not necessarily starting Isaiah Likely. Evan Ingram's been hurt. Sam Laporta missed last week. He has a bye this week. Kelsey's been bad. Had his first good week last week. I think you're starting whoever you can get your hands on. I mean, here soon,
anybody that's putting up decent numbers.
I'm going to be saying start Taysom Hill, because they always seem to give him fucking touches for some reason.
And the red zone, man.
The red
2
zone.
times last week. What's going on?
Taysom red zone
no
Hill.
idea, man.
But yeah,
Ridiculous.
my start is Tyler Conklin. I've said it before. He burned me. But Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson don't seem to be really on the same page at all. And Aaron always punishes his receivers for it. You can see the looks that he gives them. And Conklin's had 14 targets over the last 2 weeks. And the Vikings allow the 5th most fantasy points per game to tight end. So Conklin could be used very heavily if Aaron wants to punish Garrett Wilson more.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, like you said, Aaron Rodgers is never wrong. And he's probably in Hackett's ear saying, hey, this guy's not doing it for me. We got to get him out of the offense. And it showed last week. They basically just completely leaned on Breece Hall to try and get anything going on offense. If they don't trade for Devontae Adams, I'm not sure this Jets offense goes anywhere anytime soon, man.
Yep, Devontae Adams, wide receiver 1 for the Jets.
Do you guys think he gets traded? I don't know. Let us know in the comments. I definitely do think he's going to get traded. So we're going to go into our sits. Quarterbacks, the guys that you're sitting at this point, you might as well just drop them. Dude, if you are in a tough league, these guys are just guys you can't play. Trevor Lawrence right now, I think he's back on the upwards trajectory, but until he shows a good, solid outing, you just can't start him, man.
No.
This Jaguars offense is too good. Brian Thomas Jr. and Christian Kirk are both top 10 in separation per routes ran. There's no reason that Trevor Lawrence shouldn't be thriving, especially with a great run game through Tank Bigsby and Travis Etienne. There's no excuses for Trevor Lawrence anymore. Either he gets it done or you sit him on the bench.
Yeah, no. Not a fan of Trevor Lawrence this year. Was big on him going into last year, and he did not look great. Didn't look terrible. But my sit's a little more controversial. I'm going Patrick Mahomes. The Saints have allowed the 4th lowest fantasy points per game to quarterbacks, and Mahomes is averaging just 15 fantasy points per game this season. And that's not what you want coming out of your quarterback that you drafted in round, 4? 3?
4,
5?
5 maybe. Yeah. If you could got a hold him in 4, you probably are drafting him.
And I probably would have been one of those people if I was taking a higher round quarterback, but I don't do that.
Nope.
And he just lost Rashee Rice for probably most of the season. So it's just not great going over there for the Chiefs.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that Patrick Mahomes is massively underperformed. Obviously, he still has the pedigree that he's the best quarterback in the league. But for fantasy, man, he's a liability, man. You just can't start him for fantasy. He's probably going to win football games, but they're not going to be pretty, and he's not going to put up great numbers. So I agree completely. My start, it hurts me to my sit. It hurts me to say this. Devin Singletary, the Giants are playing the Seahawks, who just got absolutely ran through by Kenneth Walker. No, not Kenneth Walker. David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. They made the Seahawks defense look way worse than they are. The Seahawks run defense is very solid, and against a team that really doesn't have an air attack, I don't see Devin Singletary having a great week this week.
Yeah, no, Seahawks defense is a little better than people think. That was a great Lions team. Everyone assumed they'd be a top 5 offense, and they are. They're good.
They're solid. Man.
Both those running backs are given 20 plus fantasy points a week. Like, that's nuts. Like, crazy. This is like
we're
Saints stuff. Like, remember Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram. Like,
well, you give them, like I said, any of them the touch on the 5-yard line, they're going to find the end zone. Man. If there's nothing you can do to stop it. So I don't think it's as much as a Seahawks knock on defense as it is as much as just a praise that the Lions run game is just phenomenal.
Yes. My sit this week is Zach Moss. Multiple reasons. Last week, Zach Moss and Chase Brown had a good game. But Zach Moss played his lowest snap share of the season, which is giving more and more work to Chase Brown, including the red zone work. Chase Brown outtouched Moss 4-2 in the red zone, and the Ravens allow the 3rd lowest fantasy points per game to running backs. And Zach Moss is kind of losing his job here, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about it coming into the season. We knew that Chase Brown was going to overtake that role probably in the middle of the year. Didn't really have it pinned as the week 4, week 5 takeover, but I mean, that's just what happens. I think Chase Brown was drafted way too low, especially seeing how a lot of fantasy experts had him super high coming out. I think a lot of people were like, oh, well, Zach Moss is just going to be RB1. He was RB1 with the Colts. He didn't put up great numbers. He's never won a backfield. We talked about this, man. He's never won over a backfield without injuries. So now that they got somebody that is just better, they're going to go with the better guy. That's just how it is, man.
Yeah. Got to get the more explosive guy on the field.
Just have to, man. For my sit, I'm seeing a lot of people saying that he's a start just because of the Devontae Adams injury. But we're sitting Jacoby Myers, man. So they are playing the Broncos, and everybody's like, well, it's the Broncos. The Broncos have a great defense, dude. They're a good defense. Pat Surtain absolutely locked up Garrett Wilson, who is a 10 times better receiver than Jacoby Myers. And if you got Jacoby Myers running, he is off his best week of the year. It doesn't matter, dude. Pat Surtain's going to keep him absolutely locked up all game. Whoever's they switch up, they're talking about switching up either Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew out there. It really doesn't matter, dude. No. Jacoby Myers is a bench. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would even say probably bench Devontae Adams here. This is just a bad matchup.
I don't think he's playing.
Yeah, he's not going to play. I think everything that everyone says that he's played his last snap as a Raider already is true.
Yeah.
Like, he has a hamstring injury with the air quotes. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very hardcore hamstring injury.
Yeah, no, we're sitting Jacoby Myers. We're also sitting Tank Dell. Buffalo allows the 2nd least amount of fantasy points per game to wide receivers, and I expect the Texans are going to want to establish the run, getting Joe Mixon back, hopefully. And the Bills have a tough time stopping the run this year, so I think if they get the run game going and they'll lean on Diggs and Nico's the number 1 wide receiver in the league right now, I think Dell could kind of get left behind as well as someone else on this team. I'll let you go ahead and take that.
Yeah, so sticking with it, we're going to go ahead and bench Dalton Schultz. So the Bills, as much as they are absolutely just dominant, they have been just surprisingly good against tight ends. So last week they probably faced their best tight end core that they were going to face all year. And the Ravens blew them out. And still the leading tight end receiver was Isaiah Likely for like 1 catch for like 20-something yards. So I think Dalton Schultz, as much as like there's injuries, I thought maybe he would have a breakout with Cam Akers in the backfield. They're going to have to rely on somebody. They didn't rely on him. They relied on Nico Collins.
Yep.
And Nico Collins is going to continue to be the guy on that offense. Everyone says he's not wide receiver 1. He has earned the role. He is the guy. Dalton Schultz is staying on my bench.
Yeah, Dalton Schultz, one of those guys I said do not draft this year. Another one of those guys I said do not draft this year. My sit is David Njoku. He's been out since week 1 and pretty well seems likely to play this week. He's practicing, and now it's not fair to say that the Commanders allow the second least amount of fantasy points to tight ends, but they did play Trey McBride and didn't let him do a lot to them. But I could still see Njoku not getting a lot of work, getting eased back into the game, and Deshaun Watson just has never really targeted Njoku like last year Joe Flacco did.
Yeah, no, we were talking about it a little bit. Joe Flacco was the reason why Njoku just absolutely had a massive season, and he really didn't kick off until Joe Flacco started playing games. So, yeah, like you said, the Commanders, they haven't really faced a good tight end. But if this is going to be one of those games where you take a risk, being like, oh yeah, well they haven't really faced a tight end, I don't think Njoku's the guy that you put your eggs in the basket for. It's going to be a risk, and I don't think it's a good risk. So, yeah, no, I agree completely. So, you want to jump into our Week 4 recap of our pick'ems?
So we didn't do good.
No, we did
I
not.
did a little better than you, not much. I am now 33-31, and you are 30-34. It was a very bad week.
Yeah, I think mainly our upsets came from the Titans.
Yep.
Who would have thought Mason Rudolph would have came out and made the Titans offense come alive? Not me. I not on my bingo card. Was I here for it? Absolutely. That was awesome to see. It made Tony Pollard's stock just finally look decent for once in this guy's Titans career. I don't think any of us had the Raiders beating the Browns. I don't think any of us had the Ravens smoking the Bills. I definitely don't think we had the Commanders absolutely dog walking the Cardinals. It was a weird week, man, for sure.
Yeah, no, 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I have a four game hold to dig back out of to get back up to 500. So what better time than to take the Buccaneers to come take out a game on Thursday Night Football over the Falcons? I'm going with the Bucs.
Yes, sir. We went Bucks last week as underdogs. We are going Bucks this week as underdogs. Let's go.
Yeah, we are riding with Baker MVP, baby.
Sir.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's our Thursday night. Let's jump into our Jets Vikings. This is going to be an early morning game. Make sure you guys set your alarms, get up, watch some football, get your lineup set for sure. Make sure that there's nobody game day scratches. They're traveling overseas, man. Game day scratches happen. Make sure you're up to make sure that you don't fucking miss out on that and put up a goose egg.
Yes.
But I will be taking the Jets to beat the Vikings. I'm switching up. I'm going with the Jets.
Now, I am going Vikings. The Jets probably... I don't like their offense right now. I mean, Breece Hall looked like shit last week. Like, you got Jets fans calling for Braylon Allen. Like...
yeah, it is wild, man. But the Vikings are the hot team. But like I said, I gotta get my games back. So I'm gonna go ahead and go Jets here.
All right.
First noon game, we got Panthers Bears. I think my pick earlier surprised you, so I'll let you go first.
Yeah, no, I'm going Bears. I don't like this Panthers team. I know the offense looks better. The defense is still bad. And Bryce Young's not playing. Caleb Williams does look better. Like, he's looking a little better every week. So I'm going to go Bears here. It could really go either way.
Yeah, we knew Caleb Williams was going to have some growing pains, but I'm riding with the Red Rifle. Give me the Panthers here on the road. Just because I do like I like what I'm seeing from the Panthers right now, man. I'm seeing a scrappy team that's not content with being another. We're getting the number 1 overall pick. Go ahead and give me the Panthers here. Probably the premier noon game is going to be Ravens-Bengals. I think this is going to be a fun AFC North matchup. Go ahead and give me the Ravens, though, on the road.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go Ravens here. I can't believe they didn't make this the Sunday night game instead of the Dallas and Steelers. Like, they knew before the season that the Steelers were going to be playing Fields or Wilson at quarterback. like the Dallas Cowboys are going to have a down year, is what everyone said. Why did they make that a Sunday night game and not this or the Bills and Texans game? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
No, there was a lot of games on this slate that are definitely going to be high powered, but I do like the Ravens spread at -2.5 as well.
Yep.
Next game up, we're going to leave this one off the multi-view. I don't intend on watching probably a single snap of it. I might watch some highlights. Dolphins-Patriots. I'm going to go ahead and ride with Jacoby Brissett and the Patriots here.
Yep, Patriots as well.
Brissett is going to get the win in Gillette. I love it.
Let's go.
Browns-Commanders. Now that I'm thinking about it a little more, I'm probably going to go the Commanders here. And I'm going to take the -3.5 point spread.
Yeah, I also am going Commanders. I don't see the Browns winning this game.
No, just the more I think on it, it's just like the Browns don't look good, but this could also be one of those weird noon games where the Browns just come out and win it like 17-14. Noon games always seem weird that happen like that. It's been happening to me like the last 5 weeks, so I don't even know anymore.
Yep.
An AFC South matchup. We talked about it. Colts, Jags. I think the Jags have to win at some point, right?
Yep. I'm going Jags. Going Jags.
They got to win a game at some point. Joe Flacco is getting the start, so at least it's going to be a little bit more fun. But go ahead and give me the Jags there. Absolutely. Bills, Texans. The Bills are only 1-point favorites on the road. And I think the Buffalo Bills are a way better team than the Texans are right now. Last week really didn't put I just don't think it was really the Bills team that we are used to seeing. And I think it was just a weird week. Give me the Bills.
Yep, I'm going Bills as well. Josh Allen's coming back with a vengeance. Texans aren't as good as they were last year, so yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Our first 3 o'clock game, we got Raiders-Broncos, a little AFC West matchup here. I think we separated the last time we talked about this, but you can go ahead and hit me with yours.
Well, I'm going Broncos.
Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds right then.
Yep.
Yeah, we're definitely riding with Bo Nix
Yep.
in the Mile High Stadium. I think Pierce has completely just lost that locker room, man. I don't think he won them over last year. I'm not sure how, but this year it almost seems like that locker room is completely just not bought into the shit that he's selling, man. So yeah, give me Bo Nix in the Mile High.
Yeah, no.
Next game, we got the Cardinals-Niners. The Niners are 7.5 point favorites. I don't think that's fair, but I am taking the Niners, but I'm not taking that spread.
Yeah, give me them Niners. This could be a closer game than we think.
And I'm definitely not even going to bet money line on it because I really think that the Cardinals could sneak this one out. That's just the Cardinals are a scrappy offense, man. They're fun to watch. They've lost games obviously, but the offense has kept them in them. So
yeah.
It's not like they've been getting blown out here. Next game up, we got the Packers-Rams, the Jordan Love comeback game here.
Give me them Packers.
I'm also switching up a little bit. I think Jordan Love is gonna. If there's gonna be any game that he bounces back here, it's gonna be the Packers. It's gonna be against the Rams, man. Give me the Packers. Last 3 o'clock game, we have the Giants versus the Seahawks. I know you're picking.
Give me the Seahawks.
Yeah, we can't do it just because I am a Giants fan. Obviously, I'm gonna hope we win the football game, but it could get ugly fast if Malik Neighbors doesn't play, but go ahead and give me the Giants. Sunday Night Football, we talked about it just a second ago. Cowboys-Steelers. This one could be pretty close and pretty boring, if we're being honest. It's going to be low scoring, probably a lot of field goals. Brandon Aubrey might be the highest fantasy scorer, but who do you have?
I got to go with my boys.
I'm also riding with the underdog Cowboys just because I think the money line is just going to be too good to pass up on.
Sure.
The Steelers are 2.5 point favorites. They're not a 2.5 point better team than the Cowboys, man. I don't care. Give me the Cowboys. Monday Night Football. Man, we got split up on here. The Chiefs are 5.5 point favorites, but I'm taking the Saints to win this one.
Nah, give me Chiefs. They're going to manufacture plenty of touches for Xavier Worthy. Kareem Hunt's going to have plenty of touches. Travis Kelce's looking back to form. I think at home, Chiefs are going to really just have a statement win over what people say is a good team.
So, yeah, guys, that is going to be it. If you guys made it this far, definitely make sure to drop us a like. If you guys want to check out our other socials, they're in the bio, not in our bio, in our description. Go ahead and check all those out. The TikTok's popping. We're almost to 1,000 subs on YouTube, man. We appreciate it, and we'll catch you guys next week.